Then in addition to these existing organizations that I think are used, there are government creations, infiltrations, and takeovers. One example of that on the political scale is the SLA. I wrote an article about them, Symbionese Liberation Army that kidnapped Patty Hearst, opera for the rich. And I wrote an article about them back at the time called Cheese It, It's the Cops, because I did background work in Indiana on William and Emily Harris and Angela Atwood, or Angela D'Angelique, three of the top members of the SLA. And it turned out that they were Indiana Mod Squad narcotics bust team for the Indiana State Police. They were cops. They didn't have a radical background. They didn't believe anything revolutionary. They didn't have a picture of Huey Newton up on the wall. But they go out to California and suddenly they're part of pick up the gun and smash the state. Well, you don't go from being a cop to being that, overnight. It's a political development, even if you think a cop might turn around and think that way. These guys, within a month, go out there, they get a government-financed job at the universities, and then they're spouting all this rhetoric. Their symbol is a 7-headed cobra, which was the symbol for the Phoenix assassination squads in Vietnam. Directly taken from that. They did early recruitment for the 2 years prior in the U.S. prisons, in the federal prisons. They recruited membership for the SLA with a promise to the prisoners, and we've talked to these people, that they would get out of prison if they would join the SLA. Okay? I mean, you can't do that separate from the prison system of the government. The point was to discredit the left and progressive groups and make people look violent and senseless. These cops go in there. Every single person in the Peking house, the original group the SLA grew out of, had intelligence ties. A book was written 2 years ahead of time describing the kidnapping called Black Abductors, written as a pornography by a non-existent publishing house that had this black radical group kidnap the daughter of a West Coast publishing figure. Part of this was a long-time war between the Rockefellers and the Hearsts. This is why Patty became the victim. Colston Westbrook, who ran the Peking house and did the early recruitment for the SLA, was part of Pacific Engineering, a CIA subsidiary in Vietnam, and also worked with the Phoenix program. Theo Wheeler and Field Marshal Sing Q, Donald DeFreeze, were both LA police informants and provocateurs.